finally, Jason Garrett took a very small step toward actually becoming a head coach, actually taking charge, actually taking some action that screamed that it needed to be taken, because this team, as you recall, turned it over 6 times in the previous preseason game against the Arizona Cardinals. So when on the 5th play of the game, 5th offensive play of the game, DeMarco fumbles, they did recover the fumble, somebody needed to be made an example of. Now, I think Jason Garrett picked on the right guy because we've had DeMarco on the show. He's a fine young man. Doesn't have much to say on TV, but he's a fine young man.
Mark McGuire, yes.
Yep. He's not Mark McGuire.
I'm just saying that. You're pleading the fifth without saying so. That's all I meant by that. But go ahead.
So I think Jason knew he could, quote unquote, get away with it, pushing this kid who's actually being pushed on the field by one Philip Tanner. I don't know if you checked him out, but he has 123 yards on 31 carries in the preseason, starting to make a case that he should split carries with DeMarco. So you light a little hotter fire under DeMarco, and you send a message to the team, I'm not going to stand for this. So maybe it was a baby step toward Jason Garrett actually becoming a real leader of the Dallas Cowboys. I'll believe it when I see it, but...
I'm just wondering, does anybody that supports Dallas, because even though you can be skeptical of them, you still support them. I'm just wondering if anybody that supports Dallas, do y'all ever realize how pathetic y'all sound sometimes? I mean, listen, you got a head coach here that you're saying, oh, maybe he's finally deciding to be a head coach. Well, you think it's been 2 seasons? Yes, I mean, when you supposed to start that 2 years ago? Talk about being late to the party.
They're eight. That's all they do.
This is a walking piece of mediocrity. That's what they are, okay? So you got that going on.
Where have I heard this before?
So not only do you have that, but you have Tony Romo getting his $55 million in guaranteed dollars. Then all of a sudden he's going to be the next Peyton Manning in terms of watching film, putting forth the work ethic. All the things that you were supposed to do beforehand to get the money. They gave him the money first and said, now he'll do that stuff, even though he's been their quarterback for 8 years. That's just ridiculous. It's unbelievable. So now here we go with DeMarco Murray. Now we're going to pick him. Now, mind you, offensive line was a problem last year. It led to Tony Romo being sacked a career high 36 times. He would have got sacked more if it wasn't for his feet making plays for him, okay? So you had that going on. It also contributed to them having the second worst rushing attack in the NFL last year. DeMarco Murray getting injured didn't help matters, all right? But now here you come again. You improve the offensive line to some degree anyway, we hope, all right? You got DeMarco Murray in there. Right?
We hope.
Well, listen, I don't mind. I mean, listen, they were like tied for 27th, I believe, in terms of turnovers. You know, at 27th, my goodness. They were awful. So I appreciate Jason Garrett sending that message that we got to protect the football.
Now we got an answer.
And you cannot do that. But at the same time, having said all of that, still and all, doesn't it resonate with you, Skip? That this man is in his 3rd season, and finally he's getting to this point. I mean, listen, I'm not going to make a big deal out of anything Jason Garrett and the Dallas Cowboys do until it's in the postseason. When they're in the regular season, or even late in the regular season, just be relevant when the games count. Don't rely on the star on your helmet. Don't rely on the $1 billion playpen. Don't rely on the hype machine that is your owner. At some point in time, the players need to show up and produce. Des Bryant can ball.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I even like Miles Austin, Jason Witten, and those boys. I don't like the way they railroaded T.O. out of town, but that's a different story altogether. But I believe in their skill set. But in the end, you've got to be able to produce when it counts.
I just want the head coach to show up and produce just once, even in a preseason game. That's the first sign of life I've seen from Jason Garrett. Going on 3 years.
Then if that's the case, he should have been gone already.
I agree with that. I'm not sold on Jason Garrett. I'm more sold on Romo than I am on Jason Garrett.
Wow.
$55 million worth.
That's a lot.